who he is and where he's been, who she is and where she's been, that we're going to Decoys to learn a little bit more about his character. You heard this young woman's comment. All men are mortal, as are all women. And what's entrapment and what isn't?
First of all, for the lady there, 80% of our clients are women. Next is parents, 10% of parents, and then 10% of men or others. We've been getting a
parent situation where parents, as in the woman who just called us.
As the woman that's called, yes.
So, for example, a mother who is concerned that her daughter is dating a jerk.
Exactly.
Aha. Or, as in the case of this call, another way. Go ahead.
And then we have men who call up that about their wives. Basically, we started this business. It was suggested by a client. A woman came to us, and she couldn't afford the surveillance. And she said, could I cut it short and just send a woman in and see if it hit on her? I said, we tried it. It worked. And since that, we just let it grow, and it got bigger and bigger. It's cost efficient.
Cost efficient, meaning you don't have to hire a gumshoe sitting in a parked car waiting for something to happen. You can actually set up a situation which expedites time and so on and determine what may be a man's character in a hurry.
Exactly. The man is not predisposed to fool around. He's not going to fool around. We can send Lisa into a bar, and if there's a good ball game on, most of the men won't even bother looking at Lisa.
Well, what if it's off-season, though, Tim? I mean...
Okay, there's people that go to the bar to drink, there's people that go to the bar to watch the television, to hang out, and there's people that go to pick up women. If you're predisposed to picking up women, you're going to hit on Lisa when she walks in.
That's true.
Okay. You can stop them.
Yeah.
Well, you know, unfortunately for you, you may hit on me. He may be hitting at someone else at the bar, but if he happens to pick me, I'm the one that happens to be wearing the wire, and I'm the one that his wife hired, and if that's the case, then he's going to be in trouble. It's one of them, yeah.
Oh, you are a devil. No question. Look at this.
I'm good, that's why.
Yeah, look at this. Open the cassette there. Look where the little cassette, watch, we got some tight camera work here. I just want to make sure they see this. Oops. So anybody can have that. Maybe that's
jammed it here.
Okay. That's all right. There you go. I'm asking you now. Come on. Who's listening to you? I mean, that goes in the bra, doesn't it?
Yeah, anywhere. A pocket. Like I said, I just had it right up here because these sleeves have elastic in the band.
Battery operated. You got the little cassette.
See, the bottom line is, if you're not doing anything wrong, you're not going to get caught.
All right, who wants to know how much? Yeah. No, is that all you care about is money? All right, Tim, give it to us straight, kid.
Okay, we charge $50 an hour with a minimum of $250. Most of our decoy jobs come in with the confines of $250. Unless we have to go someplace exotic to do it, yeah?
So for $250, you can have at least one encounter with the person about whom you have questions.
Yes, and that one encounter is usually enough.
Okay. In a moment, I've got a man here who runs a spy shop. For minimum dollars, I'll get you a thing that'll change your voice on the telephone. I'll get you a little camera you put underneath here, you know? What else can we get him? We can find out where you are at any time, any place. Oh, you know what else they're doing? This is hard to believe. Guys who are, just to make sure she doesn't cry rape, are secretly taping the tryst. That's a guy trying to make a dirty movie, don't kid me. She didn't say no. Yes, I did say no. Bang, here's the tape. Listen to the men, boy, they're thrilled with that. We'll be back in just a moment.
When you're a taxi driver, a cop, and a paramedic, for acid indigestion and heartburn, how you gonna spell relief plus calcium? That's the relief you want, the extra calcium you need, in great tasting fruit flavors. So how you gonna spell relief plus calcium? Calcium-rich Rolaids spells calcium-rich relief.
You make me feel so young. You make me feel there are songs to be sung.
Introducing Fat-Free Promise Ultra. Zero fat with just 5 delicious calories a serving.
And every time I
first fat-free margarine. Definitely one of a kind.
You make me feel so young.
Regular or new fat-free Promise Ultra. Get heart smart.
Hello, everybody. I'm Carol Costello. Coming your way at 6 o'clock on TV 11 News. A man who has made the talk show rounds himself, Ron Price, is now on trial. He's a Northeast high school teacher accused of having sex with students. One of those students took the stand today, and she gave quite graphic and startling testimony. We'll tell you what it was coming your way at 6. Hope you'll join us then.
Don't just wish for healthy, shiny hair. Go out and get it. Blow drying gave me split ends, so I did something about it. With the special Pro Vitamins in Pantene Pro V shampoo and treatment conditioner, they penetrate deep down, improving hair, all the way to the tips.
Pantene Pro V, for hair so healthy, it shines.
It'll happen. Promise.
Long-legged Rosie from Baltimore took me farther than I've been before. Oh, she loved me for those diamonds and pearls. Took me for a ride, took me around the world.
What do you like about Channel 11 News?
Carol Costello.
Oh, I like that.
WBAL TV 11 News.
Frank Jones is the young man about whom I spoke. You are the owner of the Spy Shop. You've been that for 14 years. It's a high-tech gadget shop. Most of his customers are... I want to be as smart as this audience someday. Are women. Since the Tyson case, men are... Tell me that. Tell me this.
Well, with the advent of the Mike Tyson rape trial and the William Kennedy Smith incident that happened down in Florida, surprisingly, we had a lot of young men and young women that came into the store and said that, gee, you know, I entertain quite a lot at home, and sometimes I'm in the mood, sometimes I'm not. And the reasons were kind of divided halfway, I guess, you know, down the middle. Men would entertain at home and say, gee, you know, I don't want to wake up the next morning and be accused of something, of forcing a young woman into something that she didn't want to do. So they inquired as to installing a small video camera to sort of videotape their exploits. Surprisingly enough, we had the same amount of women, after these things became public, come into the shop and wanted to buy small video cameras because they did not want to be put in the same exact position where they stated they entertained men at home, and they wanted a video record, so if they were forced, they could corroborate the incident that happened to them.
How do we feel about this, jury?
I can't believe that people don't have the wherewithal and the idea in their head to believe their intuition and not have to go to this length. If you're hanging out with people like this to begin with, what are you doing?
We've had more than a few women thought he was just, you know, an altar boy until they got upstairs.
Why was she with him?
Because he had clean fingernails and he told her he was single.
That's not what my mother told me to do.
I can't answer the question why they're with the people, but they do, you know, are looking for a record.
Give us a brief demo of some of the other hardware you've got there.
Well, I'll give you an idea. All right, let's start. You want to start with the video?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The camera that we're talking about is right here. Look at the size of this. It's a completely self-contained video camera system. All right, this can be hidden in just about anything. We've hidden them in clocks, inside televisions, inside just about everything you can think of. If you see this speaker over here, all right, can you see anything? Nobody can see anything in our audience or at home. But when we take the speaker grill off, here you've got a completely self-contained video recording system.
There's the lens.
All right, that you should be able to see on your monitor at home or possibly here in the studio now.
Oh, so let me move it just here. Look at this.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
And this is capable of seeing in total darkness.
I'm going to wear one of those for the rest of my life. And I'm never leaving my apartment without my attorney.
That's the size. Look at this thing.
And a busload of witnesses. They'll never get me, Copper.
How much
All right, go ahead. What else?
Okay, one of the other things that are very popular with women are a voice-changing telephone.
Okay.
It's a simple telephone here that I'll pick up. I got a dial tone. I'm going to dial a number. Now, people have pretty much, you've come to recognize my voice right here.
Yeah.
All right, so as soon as this answers, I'm going to switch on the voice mask.
You should be able to hear me pretty good. I can change the tone either higher or
I can become deep throat. Now, a woman who lives at home can use
Well, wait, let's get need a woman.
Okay, need a woman.
You want one? It doesn't matter. Who wants?
Test, 1, 2.
How would a woman use this?
Okay, very simple.
Well, first, can I have you just A, B, C, D, E? Would you give me?
A, B, C, D.
Oh, you all they have to hear.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Now do A.
A, B,
C, D, E, F, G.
So what's the strategy here? What does she do with this, Frank?
Well, there are a couple of different things. This was.
In other words, how does this help her if she's not sure about a boyfriend or if she thinks she's in love and her mother doesn't like the guy and all that stuff?
Originally, this technology was designed for the witness protection program, but there are other uses. It's very popular with single women who live alone that don't want strange callers to know that they're home alone, so they can make themselves sound like a man. It's also good for women who are, trying to follow their husbands or find out what they're up to by disguising their voice. Is he in the office? Your secretary will know your wife's voice. Whereas here, if you can sound like your grandfather or you can sound like a child, there are a lot of subterfuge things that you can do with this phone.
Is there another thing you want because we got lots of hands in the air here.
Another popular item is the caller ID, which I think most people are aware of now. The caller IDs, which will give you the telephone number
displayed right there, huh?
Displayed that is calling. Okay?
So you can nail a geek who's making strange calls, right?
Absolutely.
What else can you do? You can
see something that comes up for people. There, a lot of people
on this here, I'm dialing here, and you will see the telephone number I'm dialing displayed. Now, this hooked onto your phone line. If a strange woman is calling your house looking for your husband, you have her number.
So you can call her and say, guess what? I'm married to this guy. Or I will be for the next couple of weeks. Okay, one other thing before we run here.
Well, we have our caller ID blocker, which once this is plugged into the phone line, okay, on the other hand, this is defensive in nature. All right, now I will come back and I will dial the same number. As soon as I get a dial tone.
Yeah, you're waiting. You waiting for Ma Bell?
I'm waiting for Ma Bell.
There is no more Ma Bell. I don't know what I'm talking about here. I mean, yeah, you'll have to wait for a release.
Okay, we'll have to wait for that.
But the point is what?
But I can block this device here, once plugged into my phone line, renders a caller ID useless.
So that there will be, So when caller ID, and it is available.
It is available, yeah, sure.
So if you don't ever, you can get an instrument to put on your phone which disallows caller ID from working. How am I doing?
Yes, absolutely. The caller ID stopper. You simply plug it into your phone line. You can make a telephone call in total security. Nobody will be able to read your number off the line.
Well, I wonder who this is.
I think it's people calling up from all over America that saw the number displayed.
We'll be back to talk to you and answer this call, whoever this caller is, in just a moment.
Tiptoe, shuffle step. Come join my dance classes at the Anna Apicella School of Dance, where ballet, tap, and jazz classes are offered 7 days a week. Classes are kept small so we can provide you with that personal attention. Call me and register now.
Have you heard about the newest sensation in dining? It's called OT's Fireside Inn, the perfect place for both intimate and family dining in a warm and friendly atmosphere. For great food and great times, come to the new OT's Fireside Inn at Ritchie Highway and Georgia Avenue, where it all begins again.
An important message for Maryland residents without group health insurance.
I worked real hard so that I could retire early. I'd hate to lose everything because of high medical bills.
We've got health care plans for individuals from all walks of life.
I've got health insurance, but my kids don't. So naturally, I worry about them a lot.
We've got health care plans for individuals from all walks of life.
I work hard just to make ends meet, but my employer doesn't offer health insurance, so I can't afford to get sick.
We've got health care plans for individuals from all walks of life. Whether you're self-employed, working for a company that doesn't offer health insurance, retiring early, or a recent graduate, Help is just a toll-free call away. Call Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Maryland now.
Call toll-free 1-800-603-6300 for free information on our individual health care plans, including quality Medicare supplement protection. 1-800-603-6300. Call now.
You mean to tell me that's my back?
I'm afraid so, Brooksy. Those are pinched nerves in your neck where the vertebrae are squeezed together.
Ouch.
Your lower back pain comes from the lumbar spine being out of proper position.
Well, what can we do about it?
First, we'll start you on a program of gentle chiropractic adjustments. And then an exercise plan here in our rehab center.
Let's do it.
You can too. Call 1-800-535-PAIN for a free consultation.
Say, how did you know that was my x-ray?
Easy. I just looked at vertebrae number 5.
They invade by the thousands, leaving an invisible chemical trail. But ants can be stopped by the exterminator, the Orkin Man. The exterminator wipes out ant armies with the awesome power of his advanced pest control technology. He destroys ants and their colony and makes sure they never return. Guaranteed. The exterminator, the Orkin Man. One call destroys them all.
Sir.
Yes, I just want to say I disagree with this whole thing. I agree with that woman over there. If my girlfriend or so did something like that to me and it turned out that I was not cheating on her, it would be over between me and her.
Really?
And they're not mentioning how many of those have happened.
You would never even find out.
Mia, you're saying what?
He would never even find out. How would you find out?
If I did find out, I think it's a sneaky thing. I think if you spent the proper time at home taking care of your boyfriend, maybe he wouldn't have wandered out there and did that. I think everybody in here could be placed in that type of position.
No, wait a minute.
I'm married 50 years.
You're married what?
50 years, and most of my friends are. If they had this, I wonder how many would still be married today.
And what would be your guess?
There you go.
Maybe 5%.
There you go. Now, wait a minute. What are you talking about if I stayed home and was taking care of my boyfriend?
If he would have been staying home taking care of her,
exactly. I wouldn't have done that. He did not want to let me go. I let him go. He was telling me, oh, you're so beautiful, I want to keep you, and running out doing everything else because I wouldn't do the things he wanted me to do.
Sir.
It seems at best it's a mixed blessing, because if you catch someone, the service is a great thing in this equipment. Right. But if you're wrong, it just means we have an increasingly paranoid, distrustful society, and that's a sad thing.
Yes, it is. Yes.
I can see that technology is really embedded in our culture.
Right.
But Lisa sitting up there, she was in a restaurant or something, and her communication might not be verbal. It might be just eye contact.
Yeah.
And having someone like that give you eye contact.
Well, but you shouldn't respond to that.
Thank you for the First off, thank you for the compliment.
Lisa, that's your business. Your business is to communicate and to make a score.
That's right. But
without the score, you wouldn't be in business.
But no matter where you go, you're going to see beautiful women everywhere you go, in the grocery store, in your offices. And it's like I said, just because you see an open door doesn't mean you have to walk through it.
Suppose she wasn't being paid for doing it.
Exactly. But she is being paid. That's her business.
Suppose she was there.
I go out to bars,
business is
and guys hit on me, but I just don't happen to have a tape recorder.
Your business is to break down the trust factor.
No, it isn't. The woman's there. She's there.
Discover what cheat wonders is already there. Roll.
You hit on her. Shame on you.
Can I just say, first of all, I go out and men come on to me that are married. I see wedding rings on their hand.
All the time.
I don't see anything wrong with this service. I had a boyfriend that I thought was cheating on me and was always accusing me of cheating. There's AIDS out there. I'm trying to protect myself. It's 1993, not 1933. So I did the right thing. I broke up with him, and now I'm with someone that I trust, I love.
Have you called Tim?
No, I haven't again, because I trust the man I'm with now. Scott, I love, and I know he wouldn't do that anymore. I mean, I know that he's very different from the guy that I was involved with in the past. It's a very different situation.
We're targeting a very slim demographic here. These are men that have histories of cheating that are basically
Lisa, technology is replacing trust then.
Well, no, technology is revealing that maybe we shouldn't have been so trustworthy all these years, and maybe that's why we had so many divorces over the past 20 years.
Right. Well, maybe if there wasn't so much advocacy for premarital sex and not abstinence, we wouldn't be here talking.
We got another show going here. And we'll be back in just a moment.
It's never fun to eat and run, to run rush and eat too fast, cause you know it's gonna catch up with you at last.
For acid indigestion or heartburn with headache, nothing's faster than Alka-Seltzer.
Get yourself some Alka-Seltzer and you'll feel better fast.
This morning, my hair was straight. Then Bill called, so I decided to go curly. I used Wash and Curl, the curling shampoo.
Wash and Curl with special curl enhancers that work right in the shower.
Thank you, Wash and Curl.
Wash and Curl, the curling shampoo.
The musical event of the century. A young Texan wins the Russians' highest music prize, and their hearts as well. Van Cliburn, America's most celebrated pianist. For the first time ever, you can enjoy Van Cliburn piano favorites. 2.5 hours of the world's most beautiful music. You'll be thrilled by the breathtaking beauty of these immortal melodies. Van Cliburn Piano Favorites brings you all your best-loved piano music on 3 cassettes for $19.99 or 2 compact discs for $24.99. So call now to capture the magic of an American legend.
To order Van Cliburn Piano Favorites, use your credit card and call 1-800-356-7300. That's 1-800-356-7300. Or send $19.99 for 3 cassettes or $24.99 for 2 CDs. Plus $4 shipping and handling to Van Cliburn Piano Favorites, Department 1, Richmond, Virginia. Please.
Hi, are you there, caller?
Yes.
You wanted to say.
I hired a decoy for my father, and it turned out that they fell in love, and now my parents are divorced.
Wasn't us.
Lisa.
Wasn't me. Wasn't me.
Lisa. You hired a decoy. Obviously, you hired it in behalf of your mother, huh?
Yeah, well, she never knew, and I can't even tell her.
Oh, I see. You were suspicious of your father.
Yeah.
And you loved both your father and your mother, but you saw what? Your mother being ignored or what?
Yeah, I mean...
You saw an unhappy marriage.
Definitely, yeah.
And you wanted to say, Mom, here's what I did, and I hate to say this, but Dad is a...
Well, I wanted to see if it was true, and then maybe I'd talk to my father and settle things, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't tell my mother what I did now. I feel like it's my fault.
Oh, you feel guilty. How long ago this happened?
About 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
She can't be responsible for his choices.
She can't be responsible for she delivered a woman to her father. She feels like a pimp. She feels she didn't mean it to work out this way.
But then again, she can't control her father.
I mean, it was a choice that he made.
I thought, well, this wasn't this agency, they're saying.
It wasn't, no.
They're supposed to be what? There's principles.
Yeah, that decoy stepped over the line.
Definitely.
Obviously.
But love conquers all. Yes.
You know, I mean.
And the caller said that the decoy passed the line. I'm wondering what transcribes on a typical date.
What will happen is we had a case where a gentleman was a salesman. Every Wednesday, he used to go to this particular night spot, and at 8 o'clock, she said you could set your watch by him. So at 8 o'clock on a Wednesday night, we just happened to be there. Timmy was with me, and Jerry, and a couple other people. And we all scattered around the bar. He came in at 8 o'clock. It just so happened there were 2 bar stools empty. He sat down at one, and I walked around the bar. I said, "Excuse me, are you saving the seat for him?" And he said, "No, no, no." He pulled it out, and he said, "You know, have you had a hard day?" And he started talking to me, and he said, "Well, can I buy you a drink?" And I said, "Thank you." And he said, "I noticed from your accent you're not from New York." He struck up this whole conversation, and through the conversation, he ended up asking me if I would like to go to, I could pick any Broadway show that I wanted to see, would take me out to dinner. And I said, "Well, wouldn't your wife mind that?" It's like, well, he started describing his marriage and saying that, you know, marriage means different things to different people, and that over the past years he's had several good relationships, and that his relationship was changing. And I thought, brother, you don't know how big it's changing, how fast. But he hit on me.
So you got the tape, you go give it to his...
I give it to Timmy. I don't deal with the clients.
And Timmy, you call the bereaved...
Right, I make a...
soon-to-be ex-spouse in.
Right, I schedule an appointment, I sit her down, and I play the tape for her. If she wants. Otherwise, I'll send her a copy. She can hear it by herself.
Did she dump this guy?
Definitely.
We'll be back in just a minute.
Some stores may claim to have lower prices than Circuit City, but don't believe it. We shop our competitors every day to be certain you won't pay more for anything you buy from us. And we'll make sure you get a great selection with lots of friendly, helpful advice from people who really care. For everything we sell, you'll always get the low price every single day, guaranteed. Welcome to Circuit City.
Welcome to Circuit City, where service is state of the art.
Jell-O put the wiggle in a cup.
Did that wobble? Did that wiggle? Did that cup of Jell-O give a little jiggle? Anytime or any place, now you can have that fruity taste. See how Jell-O put the wiggle in a cup.
Try Jell-O Gelatin Snacks. Ready to eat in individual cups. It's refreshing, it's fruity, it's fun.
See how Jell-O put the wiggle in a cup.
In your grocer's dairy case.
One of my twin boys was eating his food, and I headed for his plate, and he covered it, and he said, "No, Mommy, that's my food." I realized then that I really had a problem. I went to Jenny Craig because from the very beginning of the program, they start teaching you how to not be on the program, how to cook differently, and to change your lifestyle. I feel attractive again.
Instead of just another diet, get personal weight management at Jenny Craig, all for just $1 a pound. Call 1-800-92-JENNY.
Get the dirt other liquid cleaners can leave behind. Introducing new bathroom liquid from Spick and Span.
In the 40s, temporary workers punched in for extra cash. Today, temping is a way of life. Should you cash in on a life of temporary survival? Tonight at 11 on TV 11 News.
Coming up on TV 11 News at 6, Northeast High School coach Ron Price changes his plea. Does it mean it wasn't an illness that drove him to sex with his students? Parents in Harford County are angry over school bus stops. Why? We'll tell you. And we'll meet those Siamese twins who were separated at Johns Hopkins. All that and more next. Hope you'll join us.
Kids who sexually molest their own brothers and sisters. Desperate parents and their children. Next, Donahue.
Hi, you had a brief comment, caller.
Yeah, this show is fabulous. I'd just like to know how could you get on as a decoy?
She'd like to be a decoy, I guess, yeah. The money's pretty good. Incidentally, Lisa has no obligation to tell us how much she makes, but I guess it beats the lemonade stand, huh?
Yeah, it beats freelance typing, you know.
Yeah. Give them a quick look at the, what do you have there, Frank?
Well, this is our cigarette lighter camera. These are some of the do-it-yourself products. Here's a cigarette lighter that you can use. I can also take your picture in a restaurant.
Yeah. Services provided and promotional fees paid by the following.
You want regular Swiss cheese with all that fat, cholesterol, sodium, and calories? No. I'm giving you Alpine Lace Swiss Low because I care how you and you eat.
The new Jordan Magic Toothbrush slowly changes color as you brush, so kids will have fun brushing longer. Jordan Magic. Kids will brush and brush and brush.
Guest accommodations provided by the luxurious Drake Hotel, a Swiss hotel on Park Avenue. Call 1-800-DRAKE, New York, and ask about our weekend and honeymoon packages, starting at $125.
For stories Baltimore talks about, stories we care about, American Journal with Nancy Glass, weeknights at 7:30 on WBAL.